Happy Sunday, y'all. Welcome to the chaos. I'm headed out to the shed with this guy. Just finished him yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday party. I didn't crochet yesterday. This was the day before yesterday. He turned out really cute. This is Crochet by Jenna's Dragon Snuggler pattern. And then I just did him in Charizard colors. I free-handed color changes on the belly. And then I did the wings kind of the way you would do sea turtle fins. But I folded them in half a little bit differently so that they would get that shape instead of the typical half moon sea turtle shape. But he's going to come in here. He needs to go in there, large item overflow, because the 45 to 65 bag is full. So I'm going to put him in there. And then I want to grab some colors. I have an idea for this week that's going to be kind of a dual purpose situation. I want to bring my dessurtles back. I've been thinking about it for a while. I used to have a line of turtles that I called the dessurtles. That was like a cinnamon roll turtle, an apple pie turtle. I had an ice cream turtle, several different ones that were all just like dessert themed. So I want to bring some of those back, but I want to do it using up the already opened skeins of yarn and see how many partially used skeins I can get through and do some like stash busting kind of a situation. So that's my goal for this week. Come up with some more dessurtles, remake some of the original ones, maybe change up the pattern or whatever, make it look better, and then stash bust. So that's my plan for this week, and I will check in with y'all a little bit later. Hello, it's Sunday night. It's actually pretty late. I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I wanted to check back in one last time to show you the dessurtles that I managed to get done today. So the first one I did was a cherry pie turtle. Now these are all four based on the Tice the Sea Turtle pattern by Old Soul Factory Crochet. And I just did my own sort of freehand mods on these. So, but these mods will work with basically any turtle pattern that you have, because they all have some pretty general characteristics that are the same across the board. So for this one, I just did the body in this, I think it's almond. I want to say this is almond Bernat blanket. And then the red is just like Bernat's like main red color. I can't remember now what that color is called. I have a couple of skeins of it out in my shed. So for the modification, the only changes that I made on this one were for the shell part, I put evenly spaced mini bobble stitches like every other round. So I did the 2 central rounds, and then starting in the 3rd round, I did evenly spaced bobble stitches, and then I did another round without bobbles, and then another round with bobbles. So that gave the cherry effect. The other thing I did differently on this one was in just about every turtle pattern, you wind up with a point on the shell where you're going to do a back loop only round. That I skipped to begin with, and I went and did the front loop only when you start to attach the fins and the head. In this one, you attach the head and then you crochet the fins and the tail in the round. In other turtle patterns, you'll either attach your pre-made fins at this point, or at this point might be where you leave holes for your pre-made fins to be sewn in. So for this one, I did attach the head and worked the fins into the round, and then continued to finish off the body. Then I went back to the unworked front loop only row, and I added this scallop edge. And the only thing I did to add that scallop edge was I did 3 single crochets in one stitch, and then I slip stitched into the next, and then 3 singles, and then slipped, and 3 singled, and slipped. Then the final thing I did was I just made 6 chains, and I did a lattice weave over the back of the turtle so that he could have that pie crust lattice work. So Pretty simple. I hope it doesn't sound too complicated the way I'm explaining it, but you could take that and do that to any turtle pattern you happen to have and make a cherry pie turtle for yourself. The second one I did was, can't reach, a chocolate chip cookie turtle. This one's even simpler. Literally the only thing I did for this one was as I was doing I did the almond again for the body, and then this is sienna, burnout blanket sienna. This is Basics Brights in chocolate, I think is the name of the color. So the only difference I did for this one was I randomly placed mini baubles in chocolate in the shell. Everything else on the pattern is exactly the same. So again, a really easy one to modify any turtle pattern you have that you could do chocolate chip. Then the third one I did, third of four, this is supposed to be a cinnamon roll. You can tell me if you think it looks like that. I'm not 100% certain. That was the intent. It was the intention that this would be a cinnamon roll. It kind of looks like it, I guess. I think the colors may be my main downfall here. I used the sienna this time for the body and the fins. And then for the shell to get this swirl pattern, every other round I just swapped colors. But I didn't normally, to get a nice clean color swap, you will swap colors right before the last stitch of the round. Or like in the last stitch of the round previous to where your new color should be. So instead, on the last stitch of each round, I yarn under, because that's how I yarn under. I don't yarn over. So I yarned under, and then I drew up the new color and finished the stitch with the new color. So normally you would do the first two with the old color and then last loop with the new color, but I did it opposite way to create this swirl so that that dark color stayed connected and it did a swirly pattern instead of like a zigzag line across the back of the shell. So that's how I did that. Again, really easy one to convert any turtle pattern you have to. All of these are like that. And then the last one that I did was mint chocolate chip ice cream cone pattern. And I had intended to actually do this in a ruffle to make it look like it was semi-melted, and I didn't, and I forgot that that was my intention until after I'd already finished, and then I was like, I'm not going to go back and fix it now. It is what it is. So this is mint chocolate chip ice cream. So this is chocolate for the body, head and fins, and then the shell is in, I think Seaside is the color of this. It's sort of a bluey green, but it really, really looks like mint chocolate chip ice cream to me in person. I use more of the chocolate to just embroider on random little chips. And then the cone I freehanded. And it took me like 3 or 4 tries to figure out how I wanted to make this cone, because I wanted this shape of cone and not like the pointy tipped cone. I've done ice cream turtles before with the pointy tipped cone and people always mistake it for a unicorn. So I didn't want that to happen again. So for this, I did 8 single crochet in a magic circle. And then the very next round, I did a round of 8 in the third loop. So not the back loop only, but the third loop. And that's what gave it that nice sharp edge like that. And then I did 2 more rounds of 8. So that's a total of 4 rounds of 8 after the magic ring. And then I did a front loop only round of increases. So this gets up to 16. And then I did that third loop only technique again and did a row of singles and then a row of slip stitches to get that sort of a ridge. So that part is a little bit more complicated. If you understood what I said, you could absolutely copy this yourself and get yourself an ice cream cone like this shape. And then I just stuffed it a little and sewed it onto the back of the turtle. So that's how I got ice cream turtle. So that's 4 dessurtles that I got done today. And I think I'm done with turtles for now. There's probably more that I could come up with, but I've already got some cosplay turtles in this size that are still sitting in my bag. that are, I have, let me think. I have a Pokeball. I have BB-88. I have two R2-D2s. I have a Totoro. So that's 5 more. And I think I still have a Baby Yoda. So that's 6 more. So that's a total of 10 of these size turtles. Plus, there's at least 2 or 3 more that are just like a variegated color shell with a solid color body. So I have somewhere between 10 and 15 of this size turtle now. So that's it for turtles. I'm not going to make any more turtles until I sell a few more. I mean, people like these, and I sell these for 25 a piece. So, I mean, they'll move. Sometimes it just takes a while. Some markets are turtle markets and some aren't. So, but tomorrow, all this week actually, we're off of school. It is our Easter break. So I get some extra time to do some things. I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to go to the aquarium on Tuesday. I love going to the Audubon Aquarium. It's so much fun. But tomorrow, don't really have any specific plans going on. So I'm going to crochet some more. I do have, housework and other chores and errands and things that need to be done. But I do want to make some more things. And I think tomorrow I want to make some mermaids. I was watching Stacy Makes on her YouTube channel earlier today, and she had done these mermaids for a pattern test for Mom Stitchetti, and they were gorgeous. They're a little bigger than what I'm envisioning. But Madeline Mako has a mermaid pattern that I haven't tried yet, and most of the things that I have made of hers have been really quick makes. So I'm going to try hers, and if it's fast enough that it could stay in this sort of $25 to $35 range that I'm looking for, because that's my bread and butter, my main sellers. Then I'll probably make a couple of different colorways and maybe different hairstyles or different accessories or something, and kind of stick with the ocean theme a little bit. That may be the theme for the week, since we're going to the aquarium and all. Maybe that'll just be what I do for the week. I'll do ocean things. I don't have any more octopus other than one of the mini anchors that I have in my flea market. So I might make some of my octopus pattern, which is a much smaller, quicker make that I usually charge 25 for, and use some variegated yarns on that. So yeah, let's see if I can get a couple of mermaids tomorrow first and then go from there. But it is late. I am tired. I need to get to bed. So I will check in with y'all tomorrow. Bye. All of my market makes come pre-played with. Okay, Monday night. I did get some mermaids done this morning. As you probably saw in the previous clip, they've already been professionally play tested and approved. I made 2 so far, and I think I might be able to get 1 more done before I run out of this skein of the Premier Basics in shell. You can see how much I have left. It's not a whole lot. So I think I can get probably 1 more mermaid done before that is completely out, or at least out enough that I won't be able to use any more of it. I have 1 more skein of this out in storage, but I think 3 mermaids is probably good, especially because I don't know for sure how well they sell. I had said last night, I think that I was going to do a Madeline Mako pattern, but then when I looked through my patterns, that's actually not the one I have purchased. I have a Stitch Sister Co. pattern purchased, so that's the one that I used. So this was the first one. They are no-sew. Even the hair is just worked into the round when you get to the top part of the head, and it's got a couple of different options for fins that you can do in the bottom. 2 different ways to do the body. Like the original picture shows the tail fin like all the way up to the top, and there's no room for this like bathing suit band, but it has an option in there for how you can lengthen the body up a little bit, so that you have room to put the top part, which to me, it just doesn't look like a mermaid without that. So I did that. And then it has like 3 different variations mentioned for how to do the hair. This one I did the looser wave for like the curls right here by her face, and then the really loose one for the rest of it. This was the first one I did, and I did 18 millimeter just regular safety eyes, but I wasn't super pleased with them. So on the second one, I actually used some sinker eyes. Grab her. I did the same fin for both of them because this fin actually winds up being, for me, the fastest one to make, and it just looks the most like a mermaid tail. So for her, I did sinker eyes, and I like it better than the other eyes, but I'm still not sold on it. So for the third one, I may do embroidered eyes, although I do have some more of these sinker eyes to use too. So I don't know. I'm not loving the way the safety eyes look in these, and the pattern has them embroidered. So that may be what I just need to do. And then for her hair, I actually did a variation that I just kind of made up on the spot so that she has like shorter, tighter curls. It has you chaining out, I think, 25 and then working your way back. I chained out 15, and then I did increases in the first 10 to get this really tight curl. And then the last 5 are just single crochet. So it laid a little closer to her head and wasn't like a full puffball like my hair would be in that situation. So there's mermaid number 2. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to get just one more done tonight because that'll finish out that shell color. I'm not sure what color I want to do it in. I didn't get any red for the hair, so I can't do the traditional like Little Mermaid. Let's see. I have an orange colored tail. Not orange, but it's like melon colored, melon pink. And I have that sea glass colored tail. My other options are yellow, dark green, dark teal, baby blue, denim blue. Maybe I'll do the denim blue since the other 2 are so bright. Do one that's a little bit darker and give her like blonde hair. So she's, I don't know. Do I want to do blonde hair or do I want to do like green hair? Maybe I'll do the dark green hair. That might be interesting. I don't know what I would do for her swimsuit top then. So I've been kind of mixing and matching and doing them all sorts of different colors. Maybe I'll do a purple tail and a green top and do kind of a backwards from the Little Mermaid and then give her blonde hair. It might be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to work on that, and that'll be the last thing I think for tonight, and I will go to bed. Tomorrow we go to the aquarium, so we'll be busy. I may not have time to crochet anything tomorrow, but I will check in with y'all and let you know if I do. See you in the next one. Good morning and happy Wednesday. As I said yesterday, we went to the aquarium, so I didn't really do much of anything, but I did want to show you the one thing I did manage to finish. It's in a plastic bag right now to keep it clean, but I had a custom order for a black loaf cat with a red graduation cap for someone who is graduating, and that's their school colors. So it's a graduation gift. And I think she turned out pretty cute. I'm pretty pleased with the hat. That was just a free pattern I found on Instagram for the hat, and it worked out really nicely. And then I used flipped over backwards, but I used my 3D printer. See if I can flip it inside the bag to show you, to make a little tag that says 2025 for the year, for the graduation year, and just use a little bit of jewelry wire and an alligator clamp to hook it onto the cap. So she can take it off and use it as a keychain or whatever she wants to do with it, or leave it there. So that was what I did yesterday. That was the only thing I worked on yesterday. Today, I am going to start off with making some safety eyes. I have orders for 3 sets of my Dragon's Horde eyes, and then I also had some things come in, new colors come in that I wanted to play around with on some 35 millimeter sets and see how they turned out. I like using the 35s as my base set because they're so big. So it's like the biggest size I carry, and so I can kind of really play around with the design and see what it could look like. And I no longer go any smaller than 25 because you just can't get detail any smaller than that. So that's my plan for right now. I'll make some safety eyes, and then sorry, dogs. They decided now is the perfect time to wrestle. Then I think I may work some on my scrappy snake because I've got quite a few scrap balls in here that need to be added to him. So that may be what I do next, just for a little bit of relaxing, mindless crochet. And then I would still like to do some octopus at some point. I have all the colors still pulled out that I had pulled out for the mermaids. So I need to go pack them up, put them away, and then I want to get out some of the scrap balls of the multicolors and do octopuses with those. So that's my idea for right now. I don't know if I'll get it all done, but that's my plan. I'll check in with y'all later. Good morning. It is Thursday. Checking in for the start of the day. Last night, after my last check-in, I never did get around to getting any of the octopus done that I wanted to, but I did work on my scrappy snake for a little while, and I made, where did they go? I made 4 little mini chickens that are going to go into my flea market store today. So I have this bag still of the solid color yarns that I was using for the mermaids that needs to go back out. So that's going to be next. I'm going to go take this shopping bag out, put those away, and shop for octopus colors. There's my tiny chickens. So I took the scrap balls that I had been tucking away in my scrappy snake project bag, and some of them were a little big for what I wanted to have for the snake. So first I made these tiny keychain sized Mabel style chickens. This is a free Instagram pattern. So I've got this one out of, I think this was Sandcastles maybe in the Burnout Baby. This one was a Basics Chanel Brights light pink kind of color, blush pink kind of color. This one was like maybe pumpkin spice or something like that in the Bernat. And then this was the last of the Fluffy Flex, the loops and threads. You can see the different colors in there, the gray Fluffy Flex. So I made those 4 just to kind of cut down on some of how much of that was going to be added to the snake. And then I went and took all the rest of the leftovers and added them to Monty. So let's give you a peek at what's going on with Monty now. So here's Monty, if y'all remember him. This is the Crochet Me Zaddy little snake buddy pattern that I'm following. And I think the last time I had him on camera, he was about this long, maybe. So here's where he is now. There wound up being a lot more of this yellow. This stripe is much bigger than kind of what I want each stripe to look like. Same with this green. So that's why I was using some of it to make tiny chickens first. But yeah, he's getting big. I can't even imagine how big he's going to be at the end of the year. It's going to be crazy. But I think I finally decided last night what I'm going to wind up doing with him. I want to start doing live auctions through WhatsApp. And I think I'm going to start that next week. I'm going to do it maybe every week or every other week. Just do like an hour live stream with just a selection of plushies, not like my whole inventory at once. They may be, I don't know if I'll make them themed, like have like a Pokemon day or just have them by price points, or I'm not sure yet. I need to figure that out. But and sorry for my voice. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm still a little bit froggy. Uh, but yeah, so that's my thought, that I will do like once a week live streams on WhatsApp and do auctions and have him featured every week and like show off how big he's getting. And then at the end of the year, because he's going to be a year-long scrap snake, then I'll have a special auction for just him by himself. So anybody who's watched him grow during that year time could have the option of taking him home for themselves. So that's my plan for Monty the snake for right now. So yeah, so next I'm going to take my shopping bag out to my yarn shed, trade out colors. I want to do the octopus in the multicolors. I have a bunch of multicolors that are like partially used, caked up, all that kind of stuff, just like I do with the solids. But I like the way the octopus look in the multicolored yarns, and I'm going to be revisiting my own personal octopus pattern. And there's one little alteration that I want to try on it to kind of give it. I don't remember. I don't know what that part of the octopus is called, but they have like the bulbous head, and then they have like this kind of like the first little bit of their tentacles is like webbed, if that makes sense. So it's like, and then it's tentacles. So I want to try to add that little bit of a webbed impression before you actually just go straight into the tentacles. Because right now my octopus pattern is like head, tentacles, and it's cute and it's fast, and I like it for markets. But I do want to see if I can just add that little detail without actually like lengthening the amount of time it takes to make him for markets. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this stuff out, trade it out, fix myself some coffee, and then I'm going to sit here and make some octopus. And I will show you those when I get them done. I will check in with you later. Okay, Thursday night check in. And I did finally get to the octopus that I've been talking about all week. It's my own pattern, Olivia the octopus, but I wanted to change it up a little bit, like I mentioned earlier. So here's the first one that I worked on. So what I changed was when you would go to start the tentacles, instead of starting the tentacles right away, I added this sort of skirt of half double crochets around the outside. Yeah, I'm going to clip this microphone because it's really hard to explain this while trying to hold it one-handed. Okay, so we've got like this like skirt situation happening, and then the tentacles coming off of the skirt. So the first one I just did like a half double increase around this hole in the front loop only, and then did the tentacles. But the issue I ran into there was that, of course, in the original pattern, I knew how to space out the tentacles properly, and I was just kind of guesstimating how many stitches to put in between each one to space it out. This time around, I think I put 2 singles. Yeah, I put 2 single crochets in between each tentacle this time around, thinking that would be enough. But when I got back up to the front, there was a wider space. I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks fine. Just kind of differentiates the face a little bit. But it's not what I was going for. So this was attempt number 1. Attempt number 2, I decided to try to increase how many stitches, single crochet stitches, I had put between each tentacle. So attempt number 2 is this one. So I did 3 in between some of them and 4 in between some of them because it wasn't turning out to be an even number. I'm just like straightening out the tentacles. They kind of want to pull up because of the bobbles. So that was the other alteration that I did. Instead of just chaining out and then like increasing back to get that sort of curl effect, I chained out and then I did mini bobbles and 2 single crochets in between each mini bobble. So they still curl a little bit, which is fun, but then you also get that bobbly texture without adding too much. So again, I did the half double crochet increase in the front loop only, and then did the tentacles with varying 3 and 4 single crochet in between each tentacle, so it widened the space in between each tentacle, and that worked, but it wasn't something that was going to be like easy to remember, like how many stitches I needed to do in between each one, and I wanted it to be more consistent. So number 3, I think I finally got what I was looking for. Here's number 3. So instead of doing a half double increase all the way around, I did a pattern of one half double increase, one half double increase. So the skirt is not as voluminous on this one as it is on the other two, but that did give me the ability to put exactly, I think it's exactly two single crochets in between each of the tentacles all the way around, and it's just completely, it evens out. It's just completely even then. And for the tentacles, I chain out 25, and then like I said, I did a mini bobble, 2 single crochet, mini bobble, 2 single crochet all the way back up. And then the only other alteration I did on all 3 of them was I embroidered a little bit of an eyelid on them. I just felt like it gave her a little bit more of a personality, a little bit sleepier of a look. So I like this. I like the way this looks. It's a pretty easy alteration to make. So y'all let me know if you've ever tried my Olivia octopus pattern, if this way is something that you think should be in the original pattern, if you like the original pattern better. It wouldn't take much for me to just go ahead and add it in. Or if you never tried my Olivia octopus pattern, but you like the look of it this way better than the original pattern photos, put that in the comments and let me know. Maybe that'll help me decide whether or not to actually change the pattern or just keep this as a mod to myself for when I want to do it a little differently. So I made 3. They're kind of all in girly colors. I did grab some other variegated colors that were more boyish, but I stopped making octopus so that I could make dinner. But I did grab this one that I think will make a really cute one in boyish sort of colors. And where's that other one? And this one also. They're kind of similar, but one's got like darker greens and one's got more muted greens and blues, but they're kind of similar. So I would still like to make 2 more out of that. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, but I would like to make 2 more out of that. And then I grabbed this other one. I have so much of this because it was one of those giant balls, and I have no idea what to make out of it, really. So I don't know if I want to make another octopus out of this or not, because it's still, I mean, it's purples and blues. I don't know that it's really octopus colors. So I'm going to hold off on this, probably leave this for last as a possibility. But once I get these 2 made, that'll give me 5 of them. And I don't know if I need more than 5 of the same creature when it's this size. Like if it were, one of my little $15 guys, I could probably do 10 or 15 of them and be happy about it. But I don't know if I want more than 5 of this size. These will go for 25. I normally sell the original pattern for 25, and I don't feel like I added enough to increase the time enough to increase the price. I didn't time myself, but it didn't. I'm pretty sure it's still right at about an hour. So I think they're going to stick at 25 for these guys. So yeah, anyway, so that's what I've done so far tonight. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get to the other 2 tonight because I do need to work on the computer a little bit for my data entry job. I'm gonna stop and eat dinner right now, and then I'm gonna do my data entry job for at least an hour and a half. And then by that point, it'll be getting late. So I may not. Oh, there's also a crochet Zoom meeting I was gonna be a part of tonight. Part of Crochet by Jenna's Patreon. She does Zoom meetings every once in a while, and I really wanted to attend that one tonight. And it starts in an hour, so I'm gonna eat real quick, and I'm gonna work for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then join her Zoom. And you know what? I'll work on octopus while I'm on the Zoom with her. That'll work out. Then I can get a couple more of those done. that's my plan for tonight. I may or may not check back in this evening because I'm going to be losing the light here pretty soon. But if not, then I will see you guys tomorrow's check-in. Bye. Hello and happy Saturday. This is going to be the last clip of this vlog. So to close it out, I wanted to show you what I got done. Was it yesterday? No, I don't think I made anything yesterday. Maybe I did. No, I didn't make anything yesterday because yesterday we were driving back and forth, running errands and whatnot. So the day before yesterday was the last thing I finished. And I did make 2 more of those octopus that I was talking about. So I made one using this. This is all I have left of it. So I'm going to cake this up before it goes back out to the shed. And then I've got a few more other colors in here that I need to take back out to the shed. So I'm going to set those aside for right now. So here's the 2 newest ones that you haven't seen yet. So I wanted some in sort of more boyish colors. So this one and this one. And again, this is my pattern that I just kind of made some adjustments to. And after doing it 5 times, it's doesn't take any longer than my original pattern did. And I really like the way the little extra adjustments came out. So I'm going to take a couple photos and probably rewrite the pattern on my Etsy shop and add a new cover photo so that this becomes the main part. So here's just an overview of what I got done this week. So we've got these 2 and this one and this one and this one. So here's the 5 octopus from my Olivia the Octopus pattern. Hard to hold them all. Their heads want to flop. So whole armload of octopus. And then I did 3 mermaids. One of them I've already taken to my my little shelf set up in my flea market. So here's the 2 that are left to go in my market bags. So the blonde one went to the flea market. The 4 tiny chickens all went to the flea market as well. So then the other things that I got done this week were the 4 dessurtles. So we had the cinnamon roll turtle, cherry pie turtle, chocolate chip cookie turtle, and mint chocolate chip ice cream turtle. So the 4 dessurtles. So these guys are all going to go out to the market bags. Just dump all them back into this bag for right now so I can make it easier to carry them later. All right, so all of those are going out to the shed. The yarn's going back out to the shed. And then I got a little bit of a yarn haul. This actually happened last week, but I didn't personally go pick them up. My mom has an Ollie's near her, and she's been checking in every now and again to see if they bring out any more of their yarn because they've been doing the burnout blanket yarn for $5 a skein. The Ollie's near me was completely wiped out, like as soon as they brought it out. And I've gone back and checked a couple of times, and there hasn't been any new stuff put out. So I think they basically just sold out of everything they had, like immediately. I got a couple of colors the first time I went, but since then there hasn't been anything put out, so I haven't got anything new. But my mom's had 2 new ones that I hadn't had already before, so she sent me a picture and asked me, did I want any of them? So I had her pick up 4 of each color. So this time they had the Bernat Brights in Pixie Pink, which is this really, really pretty pink. Now it is the older formula. It's soft, but it's not. It's a different kind of soft. It's like a spongy texture. The older formula is, so it's workable. I do need to go up a hook size so that it doesn't hurt my hands too bad. And it's got kind of a buttery smooth texture. So I mean, it feels soft in the finished product. It's just a little bit harder to work with, but that's okay. I'll deal with it. And this color is really pretty. And I'm working on my My Little Ponies. So this is going to be Pinkie Pie's hair. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I got 4 of these brights in Pixie Pink. And then 4 more of tie-dye-ish. This tie-dye-ish is Himalayan salt. So I have had this color like one time before, like 2 years ago, I think. This one's softer than the brights, but then I remember the tie-dye-ish always being a little bit softer than the other old formula brunette. I think it just has to do with the way they dye it. I'm not really sure what causes that difference, but yeah. So this is close. It's not quite all the way to new formula, but it's pretty close. Yeah, I had this color one time before, just one skein of it, like 2 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. And I made like Neapolitan ice cream turtle out of it, I think. And I'm not sure what else I made with it. I don't remember. But so I got 4 skeins of this. And I think this would be great for all kinds of things. This could be chickens. This could be another Neapolitan ice cream turtle. This could be loaf cats. This could be bunnies. Like, there's a lot of things I feel like this would be good for. More on the mammal side of things than the ocean creature side of things, which is kind of what I've been doing all this week. So I got 4 of these. So that was my haul. Just eight total skeins of yarn, 2 colors. So I've been getting those bagged up and out to the shed. So that's my next task, is getting all this stuff back out to the shed. And then while I'm out there, I'm going to pull the colors that I need to make Rainbow Dash next, because that's what I want to work on. I want to work on characters again, and I want to do some more ponies and I want to finish out the ponies, and I need to finally finish that chibi Sailor Moon that I started. Like, I have her head and her ears, and that's all I have. This would be good for her hair too, but it's too big. Yeah, because I did her in the Perfect Junkie, so I need to keep to the size 5 weight size. I want to finish her, and I want to redo the other character dolls. Like, I want to remake the sailors since I sold all of them, and I have other character patterns that I have yet to try that I want to make, like from Demon Slayer, and I can't remember what else. House Moving Castle, maybe. I'll have to look through my patterns, because I have several that I would like to make more characters. And I want to make them out of the basics brights now that has a shell option. And so it'll get a lot bigger. And I think it'll be kind of good too with the Chibi Sailor Moon being smaller than the rest of the crew, since she's a little girl. So I think that'll work together well. So, but that's kind of what I want to work on next. I probably still will dot in a few of this size things, because this is the bag that's the emptiest, is this price range. It's like $25 to $35 price range. It's not empty. I mean, it's maybe half full, so it's got room to put some more things in. So I may dot in a few more of those here and there, but I'm really, really wanting to get back into characters, and especially the My Little Ponies. My daughters and I have been chatting about the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series for the past like 3 days. And they were telling me all their favorite episodes and stuff. And I've never watched it except for like as it was playing in the room while I was doing other things, like they were watching it. And my cat is climbing all over me. Say hello. Say hello, Kit Kat. This is Soot. He doesn't particularly like being picked up. He likes to be in people's laps, and he likes to be petted and loved on, but he doesn't like to be picked up and held. And he is part Siamese, and he has a natural kink in the end of his tail, so that's why it looks funny when you see the end of his tail pop up. Anyway, so we've been talking about the show, and I've never really sat down and watched it. I've just been like near it as it was being watched by them. So now I'm like, well, now I want to make a pony and watch the ponies. Like, I'm really interested in watching this show now. I know, that's funny. I'm 39 years old, and I'm going to start watching My Little Pony. But hey, it sounds like, I mean, it's a really cute show, it sounds like. So that's my plan. I'm going to go get some of the yarn for that, and I'll be in and out of the house all day because the kids have things I'm going to be driving them to. So I need to just finish up this video here so I can get it edited and get it posted for y'all tomorrow. The other new thing coming out, starting next Saturday, I want to start doing some live sales on Whatnot. So if you have the Whatnot app, feel free to come check that out. The first one is going to be next Saturday at 2 Central Standard Time. So that'll be 3 Eastern Standard Time. It's my same name as here, Cheerful Chaos Crafts. So if you follow me here, you should be able to find me there pretty easily. I would like to try to do that on a once a week basis. So that would be another good place if you want to see like the more recent things that I've made. I'm thinking of doing a format of sort of a crochet and chat with me live stream situation, but have that week's batch of for sale items just like in the background on my grid wall behind me, and kind of show those as we go too, and show you the progress week by week on Monty the scrap snake, because my plan is at the end of the year to then have an auction just for him. We'll see how big he gets throughout the year, and at the very end of the year, Monty will be auctioned off all by himself in his very own show. So that's my plan. So I'm going to close this up here. Thanks for joining me this week. If you like these vlogs, feel free to subscribe. I've been doing more and more of these. And then as I do markets, I intersperse with market recaps and reviews. I think I'm going to also start putting in some more educational videos. Like I would like to do a video on how I price my items and how you can too, and give you a easy formula to follow for pricing your items and figuring out how to price to pay yourself fairly for what you do. So I think that will actually probably be the next video that I put out. Um, and yeah, so that's been my week. Thank you for coming along with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.